What's up guys, this is Apple Tech 752 and welcome to the grand release of Purple Sliver, your #1 purple mode utility for iPad unlocking. In this step-by-step video tutorial, I'm going to show you everything you need to know about entering purple mode on your iPad mini 1st generation, iPad 2, iPad 3, and iPad 4. Let's get started. You can download Purple Sliver from my website at appletech752.com. Just open up your web browser, go to appletech752.com and click on the downloads page, and then scroll down until you find Purple Sliver. Click the grand release version 1.0, and then you're also going to need the Checkmate A5 exploit by Sinacuk, so go ahead and download this one here. It's going to take you to a GitHub page. Click on code and download zip. Once that's complete, we can go ahead and move both files out onto our desktop. We're going to go ahead and start with Purple Sliver. So double click the DMG file to open it, click skip, and then you should get a pop-up like this. Go ahead and click on File, New Finder window, and then click on Applications. I'll drag this down just a little bit, and then you can drop Purple Sliver into your Applications folder, click Replace if prompted, and then start typing in Purple Sliver, and then click on Show Package Contents. Expand the Contents folder until you find Resources, then open up a brand new terminal window, and inside of here, simply type in sudo chmod -R755, and then you can drag and drop the Resources folder and click Enter. And this password is your MacBook login password. And just like this, we are all ready to use Purple Sliver. So we can close out of everything, eject this DMG file if we want to, and then go ahead and open up Purple Sliver. And just like this, we are inside the Apple Tech 752 Purple Tool version 1.0. I am super excited to show you guys exactly how to use Purple Sliver. I'm going to go through every single one of these devices. Let's get started with the iPad mini 1st generation. As you can see, I have my iPad mini right here, and we're going to go ahead and put this thing into purple mode. For the iPad mini 1st generation, you're going to need your Arduino setup. If you don't know how to set up your Arduino board, then click that link right up there. That's going to show you everything you need to know about setting up an Arduino Uno and USB host shield. Next, you're also going to need, of course, your standard Lightning USB cable, and then your Arduino cable for plugging your Arduino board into the computer. Once you have all that, we're going to go ahead and open up the Arduino application. And once Arduino loads, as you can see, it's totally blank here. So what we're going to do is go ahead and double click that zip file we downloaded earlier. Then we can move it to the trash and find this folder right here. Go ahead and rename it to just Checkmate A5, get rid of the master. And then we're going to go back to the Arduino application and click on File, Open. And then when we get a pop-up, select the desktop and select Checkmate A5, and then select Checkmate A5.ino and click Open. And then we can close this window behind it. And here we are. At this point, we need to know exactly what CPID to use for our device. So the way we're going to do this is by entering DFU mode and using Purple Sliver. So I'm going to go ahead and connect my iPad mini to the computer right now. All right, it's connected. So I'm going to go ahead and hold the power and the home button at the exact same time. And then as soon as we get that black screen, wait about 2 seconds, then let go of the power button and continue holding the home button. And this is going to put us into DFU mode, and in just a moment here we will get an iTunes pop-up. Go ahead and dismiss this pop-up, quit iTunes, and then select your device in Purple Sliver. We're going to start with the iPad mini 1, and let's click on CPID. And as you can see, Purple Sliver literally tells us exactly what the CPID is, 8942. So we can click OK, go back into the Arduino application and make sure that our CPID is defined as 8942, which it is. That's perfect. At this point, I'm going to disconnect my iPad mini 1st generation, and I'm going to plug my Arduino setup into the computer. So we're going to use this Arduino cable. This side goes into the Arduino, and this side goes into the USB port on your Mac. And as you can see, there is a green light illuminated on my Arduino board. That's perfect. We're now going to go ahead over to Tools and make sure that the board is selected as Arduino Uno and the port is selected as the Arduino Uno port. Now we're just going to click on Upload, and if you followed my Arduino setup tutorial correctly, then it should say Compiling Sketch and give you a little message here about the CPID. In just a moment, it's going to say Uploading and then Upload Complete. Perfect. We are done uploading, so now I'm going to disconnect my Arduino board from the computer, and at this point, we're going to go ahead and plug our iPad into the Arduino setup. All right, I have my iPad mini connected to the Arduino setup, and notice how I haven't plugged this into the computer yet. We're going to go ahead and quit the Arduino application, and now we can plug it into the computer and let the exploit do its thing. All right, we have 3 red flashes. Let's go ahead and wait for a nice solid red LED. There we have it. The LED is solid red, so we can go ahead and disconnect both of these cables from our Arduino board. And now I'm going to plug this cable into the computer to connect our iPad to Purple Sliver. Perfect. As you can see, iTunes just opened again and tells us that we're in recovery mode, so we can quit iTunes, go back into the iPad mini 1, and let's start with loading IBSS. All right, close iTunes, dismiss this pop-up. Next, we're going to move on to iBeck. And as you can see, it says action required. So I'm going to disconnect my USB cable, wait 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then connect it again. And now we should get an iTunes pop-up telling us that we're in recovery again. So we can close iTunes, click OK, and then click on Go Purple. And this is going to successfully put us into purple mode on our iPad mini 1st generation. As you can see, it says purple mode activated. And I'm going to now disconnect our USB cable because in just a second here, we're going to boot right into purple mode. There we are. And if you have an Alex DCSD cable that looks something like this, then you can go ahead and use Magic CFG to change the serial number to a serial number with Find My iPhone Off, and then restore the device with 3U tools, and it's actually going to be fully unlocked. I'll have a video link right up there for exactly how to do that on the iPad mini 1. Next, I'm going to move on to the iPad 2 and show you exactly how to get it into purple mode with Purple Sliver. All right, I've got my iPad 2 right here. For this device, you're also going to need your Arduino setup. You're going to need a 30-pin USB cable, and of course, the Arduino cable as well. We're going to go ahead and start by plugging this device into the computer. All right, it's connected. So we can now hold the power and the home buttons at the exact same time. And as soon as you see that black screen, go ahead and wait 2 seconds, then let go of the power button and continue holding the home button. And in just a moment here, we will get an iTunes pop-up. We can close it, quit iTunes, go into iPad 2, and this step is really important. You need to know whether or not you have an iPad 2 4, because if you do, then the regular iPad 2 process is not going to work for you. So if you click on Check Model, you can actually visit the Checker website, and if it says mid-2012, then you'll know you have an iPad 4. If it doesn't say mid-2012, then you most likely have a regular iPad 2. I know I have a regular iPad 2, so I'm just going to click Regular iPad 2. I'm just going to take us into the main page for the iPad 2. Let's start by clicking on CPID. And as you can see, the CPID is also 8942, so we don't actually need to change the sketch at all, which is nice. So I'm going to go ahead and connect my Arduino setup to the computer with my iPad 2 connected to the Arduino board, and we should get our LED flashing right here. There goes 1, 2, 3. Let's wait just a few moments, and we're going to get that nice solid LED. There it is. So we can now disconnect our Arduino from the computer, disconnect this cable, and let's plug our iPad 2 back into the computer the normal way. All right, I just plugged my iPad 2 into the computer and we got an iTunes pop-up. We can quit this, click on Load IBSS, click OK, go back, then load iBeck. And as you can see, it says action required again. So we're going to pull out our 30-pin cable, wait 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we're going to connect it again, and we should get an iTunes pop-up. And you notice the screen turns a little bit sort of dimmed here. Now we can click cancel, quit iTunes, okay. And then let's click on Go Purple. And as you can see, it says purple mode activated. So we can now disconnect our cable and wait for the device to go into purple mode. Just like this, we are at the purple screen. And at this point, you will need a 30-pin DCSD cable to actually change the serial number, and those are pretty hard to find, and I actually haven't came up with a solution for that quite yet, but stay tuned. Make sure you're subscribed to Apple Tech 752, because as soon as I come up with a solution for the 30-pin thing, then I'll show you exactly how to unlock your iPad 2 and iPad 3. Next, I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do for purple mode on the iPad 3rd generation. Alright, I've got my iPad 3 ready to go. You're also going to need your Arduino setup for the iPad 3. You're going to need your 30-pin cable, of course, and then also your Arduino cable. Let's start off by connecting our iPad 3 to the computer. And then we can go ahead and hold the power and the home button at the exact same time until the screen turns black. And when it does, wait about 2 seconds, then let go of the power button and continue holding the home button. And as soon as we get that iTunes pop-up, go ahead and quit iTunes. And we're going to go into iPad 3 and click on CPID. And as you can see, for this device, the CPID is different. It is 8945. So we can go ahead and dismiss this pop-up, go back, and go into the Arduino application and change this 2 to a 5. Now I'm going to go ahead and disconnect my iPad from the computer and plug in the Arduino board, of course, with no device connected to it. And now we're just going to click on upload, and it's going to compile the sketch. And in just a moment here, it'll give us a nice message about the CPID. And then if we just continue waiting, it'll say uploading, and then upload complete. Just like this, we can go ahead and disconnect our Arduino board. Now we can close the Arduino application and plug the Arduino board into the computer. We should get our nice 3 LED flashes again. There we go, 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to continue waiting until we get that solid LED. There it is. We have a nice solid LED. So we can now disconnect this, disconnect our cable, and connect our iPad 3 to the computer normally through the USB port. And we got another iTunes pop-up. We can dismiss it. Click on iPad 3. Click on Load IBSS. And as you can see, it says error sending IBSS. This is actually very common, and the fix is just to hold the power and the home button at the exact same time again. And in just a moment here, we should get that nice Apple logo. As soon as we do, we're going to want to go ahead and let go of the power button and the home button. There we go. And now let's hold the power and the home button again at the exact same time. Wait till that screen turns black, and then let go after about 1 to 2 seconds and continue holding the home button. We can dismiss this pop-up on Purple Sliver, and iTunes is going to give us another pop-up. At this point, of course, we're going to need to repawn with our Arduino board. So with my device connected, I'm going to go ahead and connect my Arduino assembly to the computer. We're going to get those 3 LED flashes again, and then we'll wait, and we should get a nice solid LED. There we are. Now we can go ahead and disconnect both cables and connect our device to the computer the normal way. And we got an iTunes pop-up. We can close iTunes, and let's try loading IBSS one more time. As you can see, this time it worked. It said IBSS sent successfully. Next step is to send IBEC. So we can go ahead and load IBEC. And IBEC has been sent. So we now need to disconnect our iPad 3 and wait 5 seconds. And now we can reconnect it to the computer. And we should get another iTunes pop-up, possibly. Click on cancel, close iTunes, click OK, and click Go Purple. And as you can see, it says purple mode activated, so we can go ahead and disconnect our 30-pin cable. and wait for our device to go into purple mode. Here we are at the nice purple screen on our iPad 3. We are almost done with this tutorial, but last and certainly not least, I'm going to show you exactly what to do for the iPad 4th generation. Alright, and the good news about the iPad 4 is you do not need Arduino. All you need is your simple lightning cable, and we're going to go ahead and start by connecting our iPad 4 right to the computer. As you can see, we are now connected, so I'm going to go ahead and hold the power and the home buttons at the exact same time. And then of course, as soon as that screen turns black, we can wait about 2 seconds, then let go of the power button and continue holding the home button. And we should get an iTunes pop-up in just a second here. We can now close iTunes, click on iPad 4 in purple sliver, and click on Run iPod And it's still running the exploit. Let's see what happens here. As you can see, it says device not detected, and that is pretty normal. So we're going to go ahead and reboot our device by holding the home and the power button at the exact same time. And then as soon as we see that Apple logo, we're going to go ahead and let go. There we are, so let go, and then hold the power and the home button again at the exact same time. Then let go of the power button after 2 seconds and continue holding the home button. iTunes is going to pop open again. That's totally cool. We can go ahead and close it. Go back into purple sliver and click on Run iPod. Now we can close iTunes, and as you can see, this time the exploit worked. We are now in PON-DFU mode, so we can dismiss this pop-up and click on Load IBSS. Perfect. We can now close iTunes, click OK, and select Load IBEC. And IBEC has been sent, so we can now disconnect our iPad 4, plug it back in, click OK. We'll probably get an iTunes pop-up again, and now we can click on Go Purple. As soon as Purple Sliver tells you that purple mode has been activated, we can go ahead and click OK and disconnect our 30-pin cable. As you can see, we have a nice purple screen right on the device. If you have your Alex DCSD cable, then you can go ahead and change the serial number for your iPad 4 and fully unlock it. Keep in mind though that this whole process only works for Wi-Fi devices. I get a lot of people asking me about cellular models, but unfortunately cellular models have some things just ingrained in the hardware itself, so you can't actually change the serial number and achieve a full unlock. So any of these devices I showed you guys on Purple Sliver, the iPad mini 1, the iPad 2, the iPad 3, or the iPad 4 can all be fully unlocked, but only the Wi-Fi models. So I hope you guys enjoy. Make sure to subscribe, because in just a little while, I'm going to be releasing a solution for the 30-pin issue to hopefully get a nice 30-pin DCSD cable. So stay tuned for that. Until next time, have fun activating purple mode. If you need any help, feel free to make a post on reddit.com/r/setupapp, but please don't ask about cellular models as this process is Wi-Fi only. Stay tuned for more, guys, and peace out.